The market right now is sitting right around the 1.8, still like the beginning of this week, like we talked about before, still sitting around there. But prices of cryptos have been dropping. We saw Bitcoin drop 7% today, which is normal. When you have 13 to 15% gains in a day, you're going to see 50% drops from its current price, right? Or not 50%, but 50% of the gains that you just had, right? 12%, 15%, you're going to see a drop like 7%, right? So Bitcoin's sitting currently at 40.8K. Ethereum's right below that 3K mark, which it was actually around, I think, 3,100 not too long ago. Everything's pretty much down. Everything else is going to follow Bitcoin. So usually when you see Bitcoin dropping 7%, you're going to see drops on other things a little bit larger on altcoins, right? So, I'm not surprised. I'm not scared of it. I did talk to you guys last week about, where this Bitcoin could go. Told you guys I'm looking between that $39,000 and $38,000 level range, where it could come down to, because it did make a nice pump up. It did break structure to, just give me that confirmation that we will start moving upwards. And now it dropped a little bit. Now, the reason why it dropped was because Biden, right? Everyone's favorite president, right? Biden expected to issue executive order on crypto and CBDCs next week. So next week, they're going to be coming out with something. And it's not, a lot of people are probably looking at this like, oh my gosh, they're going to look to ban crypto, this, that, and the third, because we've seen so many countries ban crypto and then unban it. We see China ban crypto. We see different countries banning crypto. Which in my opinion is probably one of the dumbest things you could do, but people don't have the same mentality of this, right? But all they're doing is they're just trying to put their hand in the door, right? All they're doing is trying to regulate cryptocurrency in the United States. Why? Because it's getting out of control. Too many people are making too much money, right? They're seeing that. They're seeing people, and honestly, cryptocurrency is here to put the money, or I guess you would say their money and their value and their future in their hands, and they don't like that, right? Hence why they have a system, why they have jobs, why they have certain things in the world, right? So they're seeing this, they know it's too big to just eliminate it. They know that big businesses, they know that big companies that the system has created is into cryptocurrency, is invested, or has some type of, moving into some type of payments system with cryptocurrency. So they now need to regulate it, right? So all the exchanges like Coinbase and crypto.com, you're going to see a lot of rules being made within the next year. Just because they're coming out with this rule or they're coming out with some type of order, it's going to take them months, if not maybe even a year or two, to actually put them into play, right? But on a good side, right, because this is what we call FUD, right? We call this FUD, hence why Bitcoin has been dropping because of this news. Your favorite President Biden, right? Ukraine, right? Ukraine just came out and legalized Bitcoin. Ain't that amazing? Right? Ain't that amazing? Came out today, sometime earlier this afternoon, and said that they're legalizing Bitcoin, right? It's going to be a legal tender in the Ukraine. Now, I wasn't surprised because I did hear, talks of this before, Ukraine becoming a legal tender. So this is technically would be number 2 after El Salvador. El Salvador was the first one to do it. Now Ukraine, and you're going to keep seeing this within the next 3 to 5 years. Most of the country I feel like will legalize Bitcoin. Russia's talking about it. Shoot, even the United States, I just wrote it down. We have people talking about it in Texas, in Wyoming, in Arizona, in Panama, in Mexico, in Nicaragua, Brazil, Venezuela, Argentina. We have different countries already talking about this, but it's just all about who's coming up next, who's going to step up to the plate and actually take action on doing this. El Salvador was the first one. Now Ukraine. Now who's next? Now I'd love to know who you guys think is next. Because hey, could be the United States. Now that because they're bringing in the legalization of, I guess you would say, the rules to legalize this, to make it a legal tender. But we'll see. I would love to, when I get this recording up, or you guys can drop it in the chat, who you guys think is next. Now into NFTs, I guess, because NFTs are popping. There's been a couple, just like Bitcoin, there's been a little bit of drawdown today with the volume. It's down about 15% within the last 24 hours. Some projects, Pavia is sitting around that 400 ADA range. Disco Solaris is a project that we called out to you guys before. I think I actually made a video on it. Whoever got that, you should be up. Even if you bought on the aftermarket, I think it dropped down. I think it was around like 50 or 60 ADA. And within the last couple of days, within this week, it's grown at least a double up, right? So if you've had that, I think the mint was like 30 or 40 ADA, you're up right now. You're up about 3x right now. So, if you have that, it's up to you if you want to sell it. But if you sell it, it's a pretty good game. Clay Nation, which I actually have another update for them. They actually just came out with their version 2 of their white paper, right? So they have a bunch of updates, great updates. They're going to have some type of like treeverse, which is like their own metaverse. They're going to have 3D characters. They're going to have all types of stuff that is really interesting, and I'm really excited about. I'm honestly looking to picking one up now that I've sold the Pavia for a pretty good profit. I'm actually looking to, grab them up because they're coming out with a coin as well. So a lot of these projects that we're going to be calling out, they're going to have some type of utility with a game, with a breeding system, with, mutations, with a coin. Usually the projects that we go for are usually the ones that come out with coins. And if you got into Pavia, you were able to, I think it went all the way up to almost a $2,000 airdrop. And that's where it was. And it dropped down. I sold it and bought the Pavia plots with it. And then, 5x, 10x, or 6x, 7x, my income just selling that coin. So the airdrops that you're going to get are usually going to be coins within these NFTs. You're going to get airdropped that majority of the times, not all the time, but majority of the times, if you hold and you're a holder and you're consistent and, you're verified in their Discord as a holder, you're going to be able to, get airdrop these coins, just like Pavia, just like, the one that I was talking about not too long ago, the Bears, they're coming out with an airdrop for their coins. Clay Nation is going to be coming out with coins. Now, I don't know how they're going to distribute the coins, if they're airdropping it or whatnot, but majority of the time, that's what happens. All right. So, NFTs right now are down a little bit, probably some good prices you can get for some of the projects that we've called out in the past. Pavia is down right now, so you might want to pick one of those up. The coins on Cardano are down. So I think everything right now, we can be patient. You can wait for Bitcoin to hit that $39,000 level, get some extra confirmation when it starts moving back up, or you can start accumulating now, especially if you started, you have some NFTs or cryptos that you bought at higher prices. Cost average that thing, right? Cost average, you buy higher prices, it drops down. Yes, you're in you're not in the profit, but you buy in again at a lower price with maybe a little bit more money, that thing goes back up, at least, right before where you entered, you're going to be most likely, if not break even, in profit, right? So always look to cost average things, especially when we believe that cryptocurrency is going to be going up from here. Just a little bit of FUD in the market causes markets to fall. And it happens. I'm not scared. These little retracements don't hurt us at all. As long as you don't sell in the red, you're fine, right? Big players, big market makers, big institutions, big countries that are making this a legal thing over there in their countries, they're buying cryptocurrency right now, right? They're going to come out with FUD. That's the system, how it works, so they can get in at better prices. That's just how this market works. All right, guys. So you follow where the money's moving, you follow where the money's going, you're going to make money. All right. So with that being said, I do appreciate you guys for being here. I'm going to pass this over to Pat. He has an airdrop for you guys, and we got some NFT drops for you guys. So Pat, I appreciate you for everything you do, man. Always killing it. Always, boosting me personally, always giving me faith that, we're what do they say? Wag me. We're all going to make it. We're all going to make it. All right. So with that being said, appreciate you, Pat. Appreciate you guys for being here. Pat, go ahead and give him the sauce, man. Let's get it.
What's up, guys? So hopefully everybody had a good last week. I know most of our followers got picked up the Pavia plots. I don't know if some of you sold them, some of you hold them. I got a couple of mine listed. So price did come down a little bit on them, like we said. I mean, you got to expect that anytime you know that a big supply is going to be dropped on top of the current supply, it's going to bring the price down a little bit. But we were still sitting on what, a 5-6x. So anybody that got those sitting lovely. We got an airdrop we're going to talk about real quick. We're going to touch on a couple things real fast on like just general news real quick. So I posted earlier that I just picked up today another Pluto Alliance. I picked up a version 1. So I know we haven't been talking a lot about the Ethereum too much on NFTs just because of gas fees and all. Gas fees for Ethereum actually just hit this month, for this past like 30 days, they say has been the lowest they've been in the past 6 months. So there are some really big projects coming out on Ethereum, like Jonah touched base on, like even a free mint that's coming out that we're going to keep track on. Those kind of things. Expect gas to go up a little bit on those days, but some of these Ethereum projects we want to pay attention to. I mean, definitely, as you can see, the gains are crazy in Ethereum. So one of the reasons, let me pull this up on my screen real quick. So here's, I had Pluto Alliance from the beginning. Me and Jonah called that out from the day one. Those things shot up to, I think mint on them were like 0.07, 0.08, something like that, if I'm not mistaken. And then from there, they went up to about an Ethereum, came back down, shot back up to like 3/4. As low as I want to say last week, they were down to 0.03, maybe 0.04. So they said they were going to make some big announcements. So this is also the project that is associated with the guys that work with BitBoy. Who, like, if you're new to this, if you're getting into crypto, I would definitely go check out his shows. He puts out a ton of content. It's almost overwhelming how much, but he is up to date with everything. Okay. He definitely finds out stuff very fast when it comes out. So we definitely keep track of him. And like I said, we keep track of a lot of YouTubers. It's Twitter. That's the golden tickets for this stuff. All right. It's tough to do on your own. So as you can see here, well, BitBoy does not like Openseas. And I think it's because his project is their project has been out there forever and it's still not verified for some reason, which is completely ridiculous. But what they announced today is, so BitBoy is the #1 YouTuber. His show, they have like 1.5 million followers. And what they are going to do is, let me see if they actually posted it. Down here, they're going to give basically, so the way it's going to work is they are giving out anyone who has the version 1 Pluto Alliance, same as like with the Boss Cats, how if you have like that top 1000 or the top or a rocket ship, they're doing it with their whole supply though. So there's like 8,000 or 9,000. If you hold a version 1, they just announced, I think yesterday, that all revenue that comes in through ads on his YouTube channel, which they say averages between, I think, 70 and 150,000 bucks a month. That's all going to start being distributed to holders of the version 1. So I went and I did pick up one of those today. I was like talking to Jonah and one popped up for some reason. Like the floor was at, I think, like 0.19. One popped up at 0.15. I clicked on it. Ended up getting it. So I'm sitting on that. I ended up burning my original version so I could get the version 2s because I just had bad rankings. And I ended up making out really good with the version 2. So I'm holding those. I think that project will end up being pretty big. They have, like I said, they have a lot of partnerships already. They're doing some big stuff. So I would definitely keep my eye on them. Like I said, right now they're sitting at like a 0.2. Just 2 weeks ago, they were sitting at like a 0.02. So, I mean, they have been going up. And like I said, they've already been up to about an ETH and they have some major players behind them. Excuse me. So the next one is going to be Snoop Dogg. All right. So we know he is like, he's a big supporter of this stuff. Not he's making crazy money. Don't get me wrong. So, but he wouldn't keep dumping his money into it if he wasn't making money. So look, he just bought, I don't know if you guys are familiar with him, but he bought the label that he used to be employed by pretty much, Death Row. So he bought out Death Row and he's going to make this, as you can see, it's going to be the first major label that's going to be in the metaverse. So they already have, like, I think they're in Sandbox, they're building an office, all that kind of stuff. And this is going to be legit how they're going to sign artists. Like we showed a month ago about how Nas is doing this. Meek Mills is supposed to come out with some. There's some big players about to do this. I'm going to actually make a video about this. So me and Jonah, before the show, we got like 3 to 4 videos we're going to pop out in the next couple days. I'm going to make a video on this one because this one's pretty interesting. So one token that we've been telling you, and we like called this one out on our like gaming and metaverse style was the Gala token. Well, Gala Games is also going to have Gala Music, and on Gala Music, it's going to be the same style. You're going to be able to basically kind of like run what they're going to call nodes. So the way, from what I'm reading, I'm going to go way more in depth on this, but the way this is going to work is you're going to have 2 versions of NFTs, and they're going to have them like set up as kind of like where you can run a node. So you're going to get more out of it by running the full thing. So the way it's going to work is there's going to be like 2 NFT options. You're going to have the actual, like the player, and you're going to have the music. So you can buy basically NFT. I think that they're going to base it. I don't know if they're going to base it on the artist, on the album, or per song. So like you can buy the NFT that style, kind of the way that Nas did it. But then they're also, I think, going to have it where you can set up kind of like your own playlist kind of deal. And as people go through and play music and that kind of stuff, so for like DJs and stuff like that, they're going to be able to make income just by having people listen to their stuff right off these platforms. But I'll go way more in depth in this because this is like brand new. They just started dropping NFTs for this like 3 days ago that I actually missed out on. But I wanted to show you this. So like I said, we know Snoop Dogg blew up in Sandbox already. And now, like I said, they're taking the record labels big now. We're getting more and more artists. And this is what we want. This is just showing it, like Jonas said, like the government, they're trying to, certain places are all about it. Other ones, like up in Canada, they're trying to ban it. Like they think they can stop Bitcoin. It's funny, but I don't think they're powerful enough to pull that one off. And they like telling people to seize wallets. Like you can't freeze it's impossible to freeze a wallet. They can freeze your bank account. Don't get me wrong. They cannot freeze your crypto account. That they don't have access to that. That's one thing that is kind of cool about this. The government has 0 access to that. They'd have to which they have the power to cut off your power and stuff like that. But getting into your wallet, as long as you have your keys, they can't touch your stuff. Now, at least not yet. And that's the beauty of this decentralized stuff. Let me see something. I got something in the chat. So, all right, next thing, let me get into this airdrop real quick. So this is also going to be based on Openseas. So it's going to be, was it Openseas or MetaMask? MetaMask, actually. Let me pull this over though. This is another airdrop, kind of like when we did the rarity tools. So this one is going to be, it's called X2Y2. It's a new marketplace coming out for Ethereum. I haven't done everything with this. Jonah went through and started it. So the way the airdrop's going to work is it's going to be by how many you had to have listed stuff on Openseas before. So it's going to be based on that. So if you've never done anything with Ethereum yet, anything like that, NFT, well, I don't think you're going to qualify. But if you have been doing that, or if you've been with us from the beginning, I'm sure you have done these NFTs, you more than likely will qualify. But what's cool is they're going to make this so you can do like multiple listings at one time. So what I've been reading is like the different things that they're going to start integrating in these marketplaces. You'll be able to list multiple at one time. It'll put it all out, not like one listing with multiple NFTs. Like you'll just be able to click and list multiple and do one gas fee. The next thing that they're going to do is also like, if you're like a whale or whatever, when you hear these guys sweeping the floor, they're going to stop where you got to click just like 1, 2, and like buy one at a time. You're going to be able to like, they're going to have an option called sweep floor. You're going to put in how much you want to spend. It's going to tell you how many of those you can buy, kind of like when you swap out a token, and it'll literally sweep the floor for you in one transaction. So they're coming out with some really, really cool stuff. But to get this airdrop, so the way they're working it, let me just give you the breakdown. You can get upwards of 1,000 of these. I think Jonah qualified, I think it was like 150 to 200, something like that of these. when we checked, these are sitting at, let me pull up this price real quick because I know that they've been floating down a little bit today. But you got to expect that when it's an airdrop anytime. That's why we want to get this to you guys as soon as possible, because it probably will go down a little bit more. But it could pump up, like looks rare, pump back up. But as you can see, this is still, it's down 10%. It was up to $4 like earlier today even. So actually it's down more than that. So we're at 260 right now. But like I said, even if you only qualify for 100 of them, it's a $260 airdrop. So definitely, it's nothing like crazy at the moment. But if you get anywhere between that 100 and 1,000 mark, it's worth bringing to your attention. You know what I mean? If like you're a big player and you flipped, I don't know how many ETH it was total, and you got all 1,000 of them, I mean, you're talking, that's a $2,700 airdrop. So, and all you have to do is collect, you have to list. Let me pull up. So you just go right to their website. So as you just saw, I was on, so I'm on the, right back to their main one right here. Going to go to rewards. Link your wallet. And then from here, you will be able to collect these guys. So where is my button to get it? Jonah, where do I got to hit here?
That's for the staking. Go to here. I'm about to send you a link in the Zoom chat that'll take you directly.
He did this one earlier. I sent it to him and he jumped on it way before I even did.
Here you go.
But as you can see, even their staking. So once you collect your rewards, the staking is crazy right now.
I just sent it to you.
Is it in the main chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, so it looks like they got it paused.
Yeah, so that they came out on their Twitter and said they're gonna have it up by
By the end of the day.
7 a.m. UTC. So it's gonna be 2 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
All right, so you'll be able to claim your rewards. Like on mine, I have 142. So right here, it's just, it lets you know. Once this releases tonight, I'll be able to claim this. As long as the price don't go anywhere else, I'll be sitting at this. And you're gonna remember, since this is gonna be on Ethereum, I'm sure there's gonna be a claiming fee. So you will have to have a little bit of Ethereum in your wallet. All right, so make sure if you are claiming this, you have to have between listing and this, you said listing was like only like $10. So have at least like a 0.02, a 0.03. I think you should be all right with that. But like I said, it's worth checking out if you did Ethereum. Free airdrop, a couple $100 up to a couple thousand. So like I said, I just want to bring that to your attention. And then we have another, one of the other videos we're going to do is going to be, so there's a couple tokens that are working right now that are doing all kinds of airdrops. Some of them are big, some of them are little, but just by holding a matter of 3 different tokens, in the next couple months, there's going to be 20 plus airdrops coming. They've already had about 10, so you can even like check the stats out on some of them. But we'll have a video coming out on that. I'll probably put that one out first, then I'll get into we'll get into the gala music. I'll do a video on that one. So we got a couple things in the work, but like I said, this one I wanted to get you guys right away because like I said, with this airdrop being paused, when everybody is able to claim, a lot of people will swap their tokens out. So you can do this one of 2 ways. You can either like wait a second and hope it pumps back up, which I mean, that is, like I said, that's what happened with Looks Rare. Most people got their stuff right away. It went down, pumped up to like a nice price, and then worked its way back down. The other option is if you check out when this is going to work, once it is able to be claimed, if you flip it right away, more than likely it's going to go down kind of quick. You could either just take your profits, or you could probably double up your total supply. But like I said, link your wallet. I just showed you pretty much how to do everything other than the claim part. But Once this is not paused, a tab will be there. You'll be able to claim there. Just make sure you have Ethereum. That's what you need. But that is it on the airdrops. Like I said, I will have the other one. That is not going to be a big rush. You still have a little bit of time because that's like an ongoing one. Like I said, they have 20 more airdrops coming off of just holding these 3 tokens. So we will keep you informed on that. The token price is averaging right now, like I think 30 to 40 bucks. And most of the previous airdrops, you needed somewhere between 1 and 5 of them. So you're figuring like $1.50 maybe investment should qualify you for quite a bit of these airdrops. And like I said, you never know how big these are going to be. They've come out where we've received, like I said, my like one that I get from my NFT. Every time it's every drop for that so far has been $10,000, and I have another one coming in like the end of the month. They're big drops, so you just gotta we just gotta go on board and get everyone we can get. You know what I mean? The big, the small. If they're super small, you just don't claim them because of gas. Other than that, you might as well grab them. Worst case, sit on them. Or like even this, it's at what 142, but it's staking at like 7,000%. So even if I wanted to do that, I could really multiply how many. I mean, I'd have over 1,000 of them within the year if I did it that way. Well over 1,000. So you always have options with this. If you're a holder, anything you hold, like my tokens, like today, my Sin City tokens, I took all of those. I took all my Sin City tokens today and I staked them. They're sitting right now at I did it for an entire year. You had an option between 16 months and 52 or 16 weeks and 52 weeks. I did the full bang. So if you did, the range was 700 APY. If you just did like the 16, the whole catch was the rewards, no matter what, are going to be held for the full year. So 12 months for the hold. So I figured I might as well just go for it. But basically I'm going to be getting, it's a little over 1,000% APY on my gaming token, which in my mind is going to be perfect because like I said, most of these games aren't even, you can't play them yet. So once they go active, once there's a lot more volume, that's when the tokens start going up. At that time, hopefully the staking gets released and I'll have 10 times the amount that I had. So that's always another option you have. So when the market is not moving, or if it's for something like you see, like Pavia, right? In my opinion, Pavia is not really going to go anywhere for at least, I'd be shocked if it does much between the next 6 months to a year, just because of development. We see like Sandbox and them, Decentraland, they've been around for a while and they're still in development stages. So Pavia, these other ones, they are going to take a little while. That being said, now's the time to actually like accumulate the tokens while they are going to be cheap, because nobody wants, a lot of people will not buy tokens if there are no plans on going up for a while. They'd rather invest somewhere else. But you can get your stack early and stake in the meantime, because then when you're usually locked in with that staking period. So some staking you're not, you know what I mean? But when you're staking for like decent stuff, you're going to be locked in. So sometimes they release the rewards daily. So your stake will be locked, but the rewards you'll have access to. This one's doing it opposite. The rate that neither one, like whether you do the year or not, your rewards are locked in for a year. So that's good and bad. So like if you wanted to, you could take the 16 weeks. That's at like a 700% APY, and you could basically stake it for the 16. Your rewards would be pretty much over a double up in the matter of those couple of months. It's like 3.5 months. You'd have over a double up in your supply. You wouldn't be able to access that for a year, but then you would be able to sell your original staking. You could put that out whenever you wanted to. So that way, if in the next couple of months, if it did hit a spike, goes up to $1 wherever, depending on your entry point, you could take profits there, get all your money back. And then what you could do is just wait, in a matter of another like 8 more months, you got a whole lot more coming to you. So there's a couple ways to work this, but like I said, the smartest way, in my opinion, to do that is to have all your money, all your assets working for you. Like there's so many staking opportunities. There's so many, I mean, even the NFTs, they're about to, like I said, They're going to start staking them. There's a lot of them already doing that. They're going to have rentals and stuff like that that are coming active very, very soon for a lot of projects. So please do not let your stuff just sit in a regular wallet. Please definitely do not have your money in a bank account. If any of you have your money in a bank account in what they call a savings account, which is the biggest joke in the world, please message us. We will tell you a safe way you can put your money in that'll be $1 for $1. It doesn't go up, it doesn't go down, but instead of getting 0.1% on your yearly return, will get you 10%. So 100x compared to what a bank can pull off. It is very easy to do. It is very safe. It is 100% legit. And it's very, like I said, it's safe money. And I mean, you're talking easy 8 to 10% interest on your dollar. Banks, that is why all the banks are fighting this nonstop, especially with stable coins. They don't want that. Banks cannot compete with an 8% interest rate with a 10%. You know what I mean? Like I said, they don't even give us 1%. It means they're taking all that profit. If these tokens can pay us this, it means that whoever the banks are lending to is paying them that. You see how much they're stealing from us. They're taking our money and they're giving us on the interest like nothing. They're keeping it all. This changes that. So that is anytime you hear like what Russia's thing when they were talking about banning, it was like the central bank wanted it banned. Like you're gonna always hear that, especially in the US. We're gonna hear it a whole lot because the government loses control with this stuff. That's the whole biggest issue with it. Like I said, they don't like the fact that they can't freeze, that they can't. I mean, they could seize your account, but unless you give them the codes for it, I don't think they can't get your stuff. You just might not be able to access it, but I don't know what they could do. Take your computer, but they can't access your Bitcoin, your crypto, anything that's in a wallet that you have your keys for. If it's on like a Coinbase exchange and not the Coinbase wallet, that's a whole nother thing. They could probably freeze it, some stuff like that. But if you have your keys, if you have it on a ledger, something like that, you're secure. That is it on my end. Let me pass it back to Jonas, see what he's got for us. Oh, one other last thing. I know we announced it, but they finalized it. Boss Cats is coming out. It is going to be on Saturday, 60 ADA. You're allowed to do 2, I believe, per wallet. And that's going to be 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right. So 7 p.m. I would go after 2 of them. I would highly, highly recommend trying to go after 2 of them. Maybe have multiple wallets set up. This will be a very tough drop to get. But as you've seen with the Boss Cat so far, they're 2 for 2 with grand slams. All right. Both projects have 100x. I personally don't see this one doing, I'm hoping maybe like 8 to 10x. I'd be very happy with that if we can spend 60 and turn it into like 400 ADA, something like that, 600 ADA. I don't know about 100x right off the jump, just because, like I said, it's a metaverse, but they have more characters coming out next month. So, and usually, like I said, holding the land might get us tokens down the road because they are coming out with tokens. So you want to check into that because you see their stuff blows up fast. They have like between the Cats and the Rockets, they're like number 4 and 5 all time already in Cardano, and they've only been out for a couple months. So keep your eye on that. And then I know next week, I have we got a major drop next week. That's not till Wednesday, so we can talk about that on Tuesday. This weekend, focus on the Boss Cats. I'm hoping I get all mine in. Like I said, I have been keeping track of who's been on these shows. So when we do, if I do get all the land that I'm supposed to be picking up, I mean, they should be sending me about 11 pieces of land. I will do something, like I said, for you guys. I'll put some kind of raffle out, something where you guys can benefit to get part of those. Because like I said, they're gonna be tough to get. I'll be surprised like if majority of people get those. But either way, somebody in our community will end up with one because I will put one out there as long as I get my 11. But now back to Jonah. Let me let him if we need to. If you guys have any questions, shoot them over. If not, I guess we can wrap this thing up.
Yes, sir. Appreciate that, Pat. Appreciate that, Pat. Let's get it. Appreciate all that you just explained to us. Great airdrop. I think I ended up getting like 177 coins or something like that. Spent like 5.5 ETH almost. But great airdrop. Great project. I will definitely be going to make multiple. I mean, I already have multiple wallets, but I'm gonna be personally, you know, I'm personally gonna be going for these lands as many as I can. Probably send at least 3 or 4 transactions to get many plots, because I know from all of their drops that they've done so far, they've 10x or more. Especially the boss cats, the regular ones. But the next one, the last drop that I'll talk about tonight is gonna be they're called Moonimals, right? Moonimals, they're like these little uh squirrel looking guys. They're going to be dropping, if I'm not mistaken, they're going to be dropping at 1 p.m. UTC, February 20th. So that is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday morning. And that's going to be 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. It's going to be 8 a.m., right? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. Yep. 8 a.m. Eastern Standard is their public sale. They're going to be listed and they're going to cost about 48 a piece. They didn't say. I'll have to go check their Discord, which I'll go ahead and drop in our Discord. But this is a version 2 of them. I think they're pretty decent. I have my eyes on these. They plan on doing they're dropping 5,555 of them. They plan on doing a bunch of giveaways and stuff. Another airdrop of their serums. So if you guys are familiar with the project that we talked about before, the Lazy Llamas, they're doing the same thing like them. Also like the Borgs, that they're going to have acorn serums to mutate their NFTs. They plan on having royalties for Apollo holders. I'm not sure. That might be their first drop. I think they did. And then they're going to be looking to collab with other projects. And then I did see something about maybe coming into the metaverse, if I'm not mistaken. I kind of read into them a little bit more, looking into their white paper and stuff like that. So go ahead and check them out. I'll drop all these links in our YouTube video underneath the description tomorrow, or whenever you see this, it'll be in the description. I'll also drop it in our Discord, but they're dropping on Sunday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 40 ADA, and I'll drop the details in our Discord so you guys can check them out, do your own research. I'll personally go for a couple of those. I feel like their Discord's big enough and their Twitter, and a lot of people are talking about them on their Twitter. I feel like they can definitely be a nice 2-3x if you do mint them.